Thank you, President Xi Jinping, for this kind invitation for us to attend uh, this very important meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. I've taken the opportunity to study the enormous phenomenal progress, the advances you have had and achieved in the SCO, economic connectivity, public health, security, and energy transition, which is clearly consistent with Malaysia's position and ASEAN's priorities. Thank you, President Xi Jinping and China, for being a reliable friend to Malaysia and to ASEAN. And we have seen this translated into a very successful summit of ASEAN, Gulf GCC, and China last July. Now you come back with the initiative, Global Governance Initiative. Now, with this clearly explains the recognition shared by many of us that the multilateral system has somewhat failed. United Nations no longer is looked upon having the aspirations to even reform itself. Between the aspirations and the realities lies a shadow. And it's alarming because it has caused so much disparity, atrocities inflicted with impunity. So we, of course, support this. I think consistent with the moderate path of Confucius Chung Yung, a balanced, moderate position based on justice, on compassion, on humanity, rules anchored in law, cooperation, multilateralism at its core, and translated into practical action consistent with the ideals. And presently, we don't have a choice. There have been a deficit of trust in the international system because of our failures in trade, in financial architecture, in dealing with climate change. There's always this disconnect between what's being preached and the sufferings that will affect the masses and the action that does not necessarily commensurate with the ideals. Of course, I'll be brief. I'm a newcomer here. In next day or so, we'll be celebrating the resistance of the Chinese and the aftermath of the Second World War. But we share these aspirations. What does it mean? It's the rejection of aggression, of arrogance of power, rejection of colonialism, imperialism, and oppression of man by man. And what does it teach us? And I think in Beijing, we'll continue to celebrate with you, but we understand fairly that this spirit must endure because the atrocities inflicted continues with impunity. My colleagues, many of my colleagues have mentioned about the atrocities inflicted in front of our very eyes in Gaza and Palestine, killings of babies and children with impunity. Not only in Gaza and Palestine, they're affecting neighbors from Lebanon to Iran to Iraq. And the international community seems to be somewhat helpless. And that's precisely the reason why not only do I support the global initiative, but you need to do it more profoundly, more aggressively, promoting these ideals and the support to celebrate the success against any form of imperialism, colonialism, and oppression, as we will certainly join you in Beijing. Thank you.